Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is Vicky and my channel is called Escape with Vicky, and that's because this is my little escapism from my day to day, and I love creating things here. So today I've created a video showing you how I put the 5 top essential makeup products on my face. I've broken it down to 5 as the essentials. Then you can tweak it and just add in 1 or 2 little extras if you fancy it. If you're more of a highlight girl, not so much of a blusher girl, then that would be in one of your top 5s. My top 5 is foundation, mascara, brow product, blusher and bronzer. Okay, like I say, you can add in other products. Maybe if you're glamorizing your little daytime look or going out of an evening, you would layer on a lot more. But these are my 5 essential products for this makeup look. So first up, my foundation that I am absolutely loving and have been doing so for almost a year, I would say now, and this is the Dream Urban Cover from Maybelline. I'm in 116 Sesame. It just gives the right amount of coverage that I require. I just want my skin tone to be evened out. There's a little bit of redness and a few blotches here and there and a little pimple that's disappearing, but it just leaves a little bit of extra redness on my skin. So all I want to do is blend everything out so it just looks like my skin, but on a really good day. That's all I require. I still like my skin to show through. I don't want anything too heavy that's gonna mask it. So my foundation of choice in that sense would be this one. Then we're talking about bronzer. And my favorite is this one from Max Factor. You'll see it's my favorite because I'm almost finished. And I don't think I've ever finished a bronzer before. This is in the shade Light Gold 05. And love it because it just gives the right tone of brown for me and my colouring. It's not too heavy, although I can go a little bit more heavier in the contouring step, but it just gives a lovely mid-tone browny bronzy shade that I require for my skin complexion. Then I would say brows. We all love a good brow and we all have our favourite way of doing our brows. So it's very hard probably just to get away with one item for this. So I have snuck in 2 in this particular category, shall we say, and that's a brow pencil and a clear brow gel. Now the pencil is the L'Oreal Brow Artist and I love this one. This is probably my 5th pencil. I don't use the wax end so much to set them. I use the little spoolie because it's handy to have it whilst you've got the pencil on the other end, and I'm in the shade Blonde. And then once I've finished with the pencil, I would just whiz through with this one, Brow This Way from Rimmell, and it's just a clear gel. They're all much the same when it comes to clear gels. So I'm very happy with this one. I like the compactness and the shape and the size of this particular packaging, so hence why I have repurchased this a few times. So next it would be mascara, and my long-term favourite is this one from Maybelline. It's the Lash Sensational. I've repurchased many a time. Like I say, it's quite hard to actually narrow it down to the 5 products because I've got other mascaras I like. But if I'm in a rush and I just want to apply my makeup, these are the products that I know are going to work. I'm not going to be fussing around or making a mistake with my mascara because it's too clumpy and sticky and I have to work with it for much longer than required. This is a fail-safe. The wand is really nice. If you can see, it's got a curve to it. So you can really sort of go in lightly and then really push in at the root to get a good lift. Absolutely love this one. And then blusher. Oh, now I'm a sucker for a blusher. So I've got lots of blushes, so it's really hard actually to find my favourite. And I kept going back to another one and then, oh, did I like this one? Because there's peaches and there's pinks, isn't there? But I think my favourite tone of all is when you've got like a rosy brown, that pinky brown. And this one's from H&M and I absolutely love it. And it is called Rosy Brown. You've even got a little mirror on there, which I don't tend to use because it's a tiny bit small, but I just love the tone of it. You can see it's pinky, but it's got that deepness when they add that little bit of brown to it. And I do love a blusher. I don't just want a little wash of colour. I like a blusher, as I'm sure you can see. I like it to be on there in the mornings and as it sort of wears off through the day, but I still want it to be there when I'm finishing work, not just when I'm starting. So that's my 5 essentials. Now, if I were just going to add in a couple of extra steps, some people need concealer. That might sound a bit stupid because most of us who wear makeup wear concealer. But sometimes if you just want a quick application, you can use your foundation to go up under your eyes, and that can be adequate for some people. I actually benefit from a concealer because I have dark circles. So at the moment, my favourite are these from the L'Oreal, the Infallible range. I've got 2 shades, Biscuit and Cashmere. One's more, and that would be the Biscuit, more my skin tone, more my foundation colour. So I would go on any blemishes or lower down on my eye for that one. And then I would go in with the lighter shade, which is the Cashmere one, just more on the inner corner of my eye, just to lighten and brighten things up. Then, now if you don't have to obviously wear eyeshadow, because if you're using a bronzer or a blusher, especially in those tones that I've talked about, you can whiz that over the eye as well, so you get a little bit of colour, a little bit of shadow there on your eyes. But if you wanted something quick and easy, I love this one from NYX, NYX, and it's a little trio of colours there, from the sort of little bit of shimmer and sparkle in there, but nothing too heavy. You can go quite light-handed. So you've got your 2 tones of brown and then the light shade here, which I like to use in the corner of my eye. Or another multi-use product is this one from Kiko, and it's a brown eyeshadow on one end, quite a dark brown, but actually really nice, flattering, particularly with my blue eyes, I will say. And then on this end, you've got more of the highlighter, sparkly sort of shimmer end, which you could put in the corners and blend out, or just go in with a wash of this one. So I like this one because it's sort of multi-purpose there on the stick there. And then obviously just maybe one other, if you wanted to, would be a lip liner. If you perhaps use balms, which we all sort of put something on our lips to stop them drying out, don't we? And I like this lip pencil from Kiko. It's just the perfect shade. It's just a sort of nudie, natural, almost like your lips but better, or my lips but better. It's sort of nice, sort of rosy brown. It's almost similar shade to the blusher, and I think that's why everything just sort of looks and blends and looks cohesive on the skin and just works really well. So they're the little extras. Now I'm going to show you how I apply those products to my face. So this foundation really blends in so naturally on your skin. It just creates that perfect base for me. I've popped a splodge on the back of my hand. I tend to work from a splodge of foundation on the back of my hand, and I can build up in areas where I want a little bit more coverage, and I actually don't put an awful lot on my forehead because there's only a few little wrinkles up there, and unfortunately foundation is not going to cover those. And I don't worry too much actually about covering absolutely every imperfection. My skin does go a little bit red once I put my skincare on, so it's always going to look a little bit more red than my neck. My neck is always pale. I don't particularly want to match to my neck. I don't mind having a bit more warmth on my face. But yeah, I think pretty much that is as much coverage as I like from my foundation. I know it's a little bit bright, but I wanted to get natural light, so I am stood in front of a big window. But you can see that that just blends out any little bit of redness. It's just a really lightweight coverage, which is what I love about it. You can't go full coverage with it. If you're looking for a full coverage foundation, this is not the one for you, but it's just quick and easy for every day, and it leaves your skin breathable and actually showing your true skin, so it doesn't look like you've got a mask on. It just looks like you've got relatively good skin. So for concealer, I'm going to go in with the slightly darker shade, which is Biscuit, and I literally put this on the lower part of my eye here, and here. You can see I'm a dark circle girl, but I don't like to go too far up into my eye with the slightly darker one. This is more of the same shade as the foundation, kind of more my skin tone. So this is the one that if there's still any little peaks of anything showing through that I feel like getting covered up a little bit more, that's the one I will go in with. And then I go in with a Real Techniques, I think this one is, not sure. Anyway, I'm not so into my brushes, I just like it to do what it needs to do. So I just sort of pat this in so that you get the best coverage, so you don't have to keep layering loads and loads of concealer, because I do find it's the concealer that's going to crease, if anything's going to, more than the actual foundation, because I don't put a massive layer on of the foundation, it tends to stay put, whereas concealer can settle in all those fine lines. And then I just pat to get the warmth of your finger, just to sort of pat and smooth anything in there. So then I'll go in with the L'Oreal concealer in Cashmere, and this is just the slightest bit lighter, a tiniest bit too light for me to use all over my face. But what I do, and I'll show you, I just literally pat it in just the tiniest amount into the really dark areas on the side of the nose where you get the darkness as well, and that's literally the only place I put it. And then I've got a smaller little brush. I do take my time with my base. Yeah, I do think you've got to blend and blend and blend, and then you do a bit more of your makeup, and then you probably go back and blend again, because I do like a nice blended base, shall we say, and it can take 5 minutes, generally not more, because who's got time for that. But I find if you go a little bit more sparingly with the products itself, then it doesn't take quite as long to get that lovely even complexion that you're looking for. So I've taken a few extra minutes just to blend all that in, so I'm happy with the coverage, and at the moment there's no creasing under the eyes. Obviously that will appear because I've got fine lines, and you can't stop any product from creasing a tiny bit anyway. So next I would go in with my bronzer. This is the third product now, isn't it? So we've done foundation, concealer, and then the bronzer. Now, yeah, I need to get a new one of these. Look, I've hit pan. Right, so bronzer I do a little bit of contour as well. So I first of all go in that little darker shadow bit, and then just sort of work up, so I'm covering my whole cheekbone. If I sound a little bit deeper, guys, that's because I've had this sort of like a chesty cough all week, and it's just making my throat a little bit deeper than usually is. But I'm making sure I'm coughing off of camera, so I'm sparing you of that. So that's that. We'll just do the same on this side. And so this is product 3. So if we were doing like the essential 5 products, then I would swish this over my eyes as well, which I'll do anyway. That's why I haven't done my brows yet, because I find if I do my brows first and then I use this technique of putting bronzer on as a little bit of eye colour, then you kind of have to be really careful with your brows, which means you have to go slower. So you can swish it all on if you haven't got your brows on first. And then obviously you just sort of, I always bring that down along my jawline and under my chin and around my forehead. This is really weird. My hair is usually still wet. I've had to dry it out a little bit and just sort of tie it all back, because my hair is usually soaking wet. I do my makeup first and then I style my hair. So it's weird having slightly dry hair here. So yeah, that's all I do for bronzer, and potentially a little bit of contour. I love this one. So this is the stage we do our brows, and I'm not, again, gonna do these entirely with you watching. You know how to do your own brows. I am still forever growing them. This one's kind of got quite a nice shape to it. This one needs to come in a little bit more, so I've got sort of sparse hairs here, but I kind of make it work. I'll crack on with these and show you when I'm done. I'm just going to put the brow gel in now, and that's a relatively easy step, isn't it? I do like brushing my brows up and then just tailing them off at the end. I do have to trim my brows as well. They do grow quite well, actually. I'm quite impressed, because back in the 90s I went really thin brows, like we all did back then. But probably in the last, I don't know, 5, 8 years, I don't know really, I've been growing them back, and I'm pretty impressed. I had a mono brow at 15, so I kind of knew I had lots of brows. But anyway, so that's the brows done there with those products. I think they're quite nice. So then I would normally do then mascara and blusher, but I want to put a little bit of something on my eyes just to show you those extra steps where we can still be like really quick. So we've got the Kiko pencil. I'm just thinking, shall I use the NYX trio there? I love this one. This is really cool. What I might do is use this one in the corner just to sort of lighten and brighten it up, rather than use this end of the pencil and use the brown for the shadow. That's what I'm going to do. Right, so this goes on really easily. You don't have to worry too much about it. Just sort of to the consistency, to how dark you actually want it. I always start off first with a little dense brush, because I don't want to take too much product off if I use my finger. So I just swish that around, and I think if you use a slightly more denser brush, you can get more of a pigmented colour. If you go a bit flippy with more of one of your eyeshadow brushes, then you sort of almost blend away the product a little bit too much. And I take it under my eye, so we're all using just one product. And I'm not too fussy about it either. I don't mind if it's a little bit messy. As a glasses wearer, it's really hard, because I can imagine some people thinking, oh, I'm not going to bother with my eyes, they're kind of hidden behind my glasses, who's going to see my eyes? Well, I think you, as a glasses wearer, need to pay a little bit more attention to your eyes, because then they can just get lost and they don't even show through your glasses. And I think that's really sad, because you can see I've got like really blue eyes, and when I go for more of a brown eyeshadow, they really pop. And I just think you want that to show through whether you're wearing glasses or not. So that's the brown shadow, and then I'm just going to show you the slightly lighter shade there for the NYX. You can still probably get away with using the same brush, because I don't want it to look extremely light. I just want to add just a little bit of light in that corner, solely again because I suffer with dark circles, so it just lightens that area a little bit. But can you see? I hope you can see. I don't know what this light's doing. And I'm not a makeup artist, so it works for me, and it's just literally using 2 products. I could get away with using both ends of this one, then that would be condensing it to one, and I could actually get away with using these colours instead of one from each. So that would be 1 product as well. I'm going to do the other eye now. So that's the eyes done, and like I say, I tend to actually leave my mascara as the last step. I have no idea why. It might be because I just like to sort of balance out my makeup. So I'm going to go in and put the blusher on now, and oh look, it's even got a little mirror, so perhaps I'll use that. And I think then maybe sometimes I kind of go back and play with the eyes a little bit more if I need any more once I put blusher on, just to sort of balance everything out. I don't tend to, I haven't got a lot of time for that, but yeah, I love this blusher because it's just, I think it suits all skin tones, and it just gives me a pop of something I need. A blusher. I can't just do bronzer and feel like I'm adequately warmthed, shall we say. Wrong terminology, I know. I just need a bit of something on my cheeks, and I can be quite heavy on the old blusher sometimes, but then I always find go heavy to start with. As it wears off, by the afternoon you've still got blusher on your face, because I kind of look a bit ill and pale if I haven't got any blusher. So yeah, and I swip it all over the place and go up there, make sure it's all blended. I don't care. I like blusher, so I put it everywhere. Right, so now I'm going to do some mascara. And we're going to use the Maybelline. And I'm just going to put a light coating. But really like get down in the roots. There, can you see? So there you go. I spared you my mascara face, but I absolutely love this mascara. I've used it for years, and it's just so simple and easy. I put the tiniest little amount on my bottom lashes solely because I need that definition, like I say, as a glasses wearer. Let me show you. You know, when you put your glasses on, your eyes can just disappear, especially as I've got quite heavy framed glasses as well. So I just like the definition of having something on the top and a little bit on the bottom. And obviously as we get a little bit older, everything sort of slips a little bit. So, you know, if you get any sort of hooding again and redness, you know, all the things that comes with age, everything just looks, if you can just sort of tweak it, but make sure everything is blended. By this point, I would have also had to have just blended out under my eye area a little bit more, because everything would have just moved a little bit. So yes, so literally that is it if I was using the 5 essentials. Obviously I've got the little bit of eyeshadow on there as well, so that's the 6. So now I'm literally just going to put some lip liner on. Where's my mirror? Because again, as we age, our lips get a little bit thinner, and I just think it benefits if you've just got a little bit of, sorry, it's really hard to talk and do this at the same time, definition of your lips. Not a lot, it really doesn't need to be a lot, but I put a little splodge of that and then blend it either with a brush or your finger. But this colour from Kiko is just really nice. It's like a better, darker, deeper shade of my colour, which isn't then my colour, is it? Anyway, it suits my lips and suits my skin tone. And these are really good. They last a really long time. I sometimes go a little bit deeper in the corners to give a little bit of definition. But literally, I do obviously wear lipsticks, but obviously as we're keeping this as the essentials, then that's it. That's my lip colour. That would be me done. If I come back a bit, I don't know how much I'm being blown out. I'm sorry, by the window. Let's do this and then I'll show you at the end. So there you go guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a little thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you'd like to be around for future videos. I do enjoy creating these videos, and I don't actually put makeup on very often in front of the camera, so I did enjoy doing that, and I love sharing my favourite products at the moment, and I like challenging myself to actually condense my stash to 5, and then just maybe adding a couple of extras here and there on the weekend or on a certain day of the week, or if you're going out in the evening, but still keeping it relatively natural, I think, anyway. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing before you disappear, that would be fabulous, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.